Pennsylvania will play a critical role in the midterm elections. In fact, that's where I will be on the night that will decide what's next for our country and definitely that state, the midterms.
That's a nice preview there. The Keystone State is hosting some of the nation's most high-profile and competitive races for the House and the Senate, a big reason why JD will be there. The latest Battleground Tracker poll breaks down how voters are leaning before casting their ballots in November. So let's bring in our CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, for more on this. So why are we sending Jerika there? Why are we polling so much? What are the big issues at play here in the Keystone State?
Well, I was there in 2020.
Okay, so continuing this trend.
Well, when we projected Pennsylvania for Joe Biden, that's what put him over the top when he won in 2020. And I would wager there's no better place to be again in November. So you're going to the right spot. Look, there's a reason we're watching Pennsylvania. It's not just because it's a close race in a Senate that's, could be very evenly divided, and this could be a pivotal one. It's because it's a lens into so many of the issues that Americans are wrestling with across the country. Abortion, the economy, and then you've got another layer of really interesting characters who are running. So let me start with this. You know how that old maxim, all politics is local?
Absolutely.
Forget about it. Look at this. Vote for Senate. Which is more important, national issues or local issues? In Pennsylvania, people say it's national issues.
Wow.
So to the point that there are these big themes playing out there.
How much does Roe v. Wade play into that?
A lot. So let's jump to that because it's really important, especially for Democrats. What we have seen is that they think that the Democratic nominees, both for governor and for Senate, would be more likely to protect abortion access. But there's a prevalent feeling among Democrats that the Republican nominees would then restrict abortion access. So you see big gains among women voters for a John Fetterman, the Democratic nominee in particular, and that's just going to be so critical. That's a big part of the Democratic base, Drake.
In terms of the candidates for House and Senate, how are they resonating with voters in that state? Yeah,
let me show you this because it's really important. When we look at the characters in play here, John Fetterman and Dr. Oz, who is the Republican nominee, one of the criticisms that the Fetterman campaign has leveled against Oz is that he's not from the state, they say, right? He hasn't lived there long enough to really understand the state. Well, look at this. When they talk, do they say what they really believe? Fetterman, a majority of people say, yeah, he does. But look at this 7 in 10 who say Oz just says what he thinks voters want to hear. So there's a bit of that authenticity gap, if you will. And this is where does the candidate find resonance, find understanding with the Pennsylvania electorate? And that's a gap he may need to make up.
Senator Lindsey Graham just announced an effort in introducing legislation of a national abortion ban. You read Politico today, and folks are saying this is giving Democrats a real opportunity. You mentioned it already as far as how Democrats interpret that issue as far as their candidate. How do Republicans see that issue? What kind of motivating factor is it for them, and how else is that issue playing out?
So for Democrats, they say it makes them more motivated, more likely to vote. For Republicans, they say it's a non-factor. And
interesting.
Yeah, and so it's sort of a case of a party generally got what it wanted out of policy, but at this point, Republicans say they're much more focused on the economy. Now, that could mean, because there is still a sizable portion of Republicans, though not all, who do say they'd prefer to keep abortion legal. Right? So it's not universal across the Republican Party, number one. Number two is Republicans say the economy is more important, not only because they think it's bad, but also politically and strategically. This is a way to get at what could be a weakness for the party in power and for Joe Biden. So when we see that overall the midterm electorate says the economy and inflation are really important, that's not just people paying more at the gas pump. It's not just people who are saying, yeah, they're struggling with inflation, which they do. But it's also a lot of Republicans driving that and say, yeah, we want this issue to stay on the forefront because when it does, they do better. Oz is winning voters who say the economy is their most important issue, but Fetterman does better on issues like abortion.
People want money. People want to feel safe. Economy, inflation, and crime, top three. Anthony Salvanto, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.